lot of questions about how I curl my hair, and I honestly just learned to curl it within the last year. I've tried all different kinds of curling irons. I have a cosmetology license, couldn't curl my own hair. So I think it has to do with the fact that I gave it lots and lots of practice. And then I found the right curling iron that worked for me and my hair. I tried wands. I tried the ones that are the same length for the whole wand. I tried the ones that taper down. I couldn't do that. I can't, I'm not that coordinated. So I thought I would just show you guys the technique I use to curl my hair, because it does matter when your hair is short, how curly. If you want it pretty wavy like I do, you have to curl it a certain way, and I'll show you why. And then I'll show you the curling iron that I use and the products. So first of all, I have my trusty comb. As you can see, it's been around a while. Literally, I've had this since I did hair eons ago. This is the hairspray that I use, okay? I think I'm supposed to do this so you can see it. I think you can probably read it. It's Tresemme. It's the number 3 strength, because I don't like sticky, crunchy hair. I want it to have its own kind of movement. So this is the hairspray that I like. And then my curling iron, which is hot. This is a Conair ceramic. It's 1 inch, and it's a clamp. So it has the thumb and the clamp, okay? And I put it, there's like a rotating dial, and I set it to the almost to the hottest one. It's maybe a couple of notches down. I have very thick, very coarse hair, and it helps to have a pretty hot appliance if you have really thick hair. If your hair is thinner, finer, you might want to crank it down a little bit, because it is more damaging, obviously, the hotter it gets. I don't put any pre-treatment on my hair. Maybe I should. If you guys have a suggestion, feel free to throw that out there. I will leave a link also for my curling iron too, so you'll know where to buy it. It's pretty easy to find. So I do it in about 5 different sections, depending on how much time I have. So I just section it off, put all this up in a ponytail. It's very attractive. Okay, so I have my hair pulled up, right? I just take this front section right here. Okay, and here's the trick, you guys. Comb it out a couple times. When you have shorter hair, this is what a lot of people do. They put the curling iron in their hair, they pull it all the way to the bottom, and then they curl it up. Okay? Which is fine if you don't want that, like a ringlet look. Okay, so let it sit for a couple of seconds. Okay, but I'll show you what it does here, okay? The curl doesn't start until almost the bottom of your hair. So if I were to pull this out, only the bottom half of an inch down here, inch or so, is what curled, okay? So here's the trick to how I get my hair so wavy, is I start my curling iron in the middle of my hair. Can't see what I'm doing, there we go. Give it a turn, okay? So that puts that first curl at the very, very close to my scalp. And then you just kind of pop that clamp open a few times, and you keep turning it. And your hair's gonna get all caught up in there. It's fine. It'll work itself out. And you just keep doing that. The other thing that I do that a lot of stylists don't do is they leave the last section of your hair out. I'm just not a fan of how that looks, so I don't do it. So now you can see that the first curl starts right off my head instead of way down here. So I've got a full-on ringlet, curly Sue curl going on. Okay, so the next section, part it off. I'm gonna curl it the opposite direction. So this one I curled away from my face. This one I'm gonna curl towards my face. Okay, so it's gonna come this way, you know. So you turn your curling, so the first one I did like this with the clamp in the front. You turn the curling iron around so the clamp is in the back. Middle of your hair, give it a turn and let it sit for a second, and then pop that clamp open a couple of times. If you want to leave your ends out, you certainly can. If you don't like to have a finished curl at the end, that's totally fine. But I prefer that it be in there. I do only leave the ends in there for a second, and then I let go. Okay, so we have this one curled away from my face, this one curled towards my face. And what this does is when I comb it out, it keeps the curls separate. If you have them all going in the same direction, get locked up together and you get one giant curl. So this keeps them from doing that, okay? So I go all the way around and then I'll do the next section. So. Okay, so here we are back in the front. So again, I comb it towards my face like that, and then I kind of go ahead and start forming the curl pattern with my comb so that it kind of already has the idea of what direction it's going to go. I gotta switch hands. You sort of have to be a little bit acrobatic. Start in the middle of your hair, give it one turn right here, right close to your scalp, and see how all this is kind of sticking out. What's going to happen is as I turn it, it's going to get wrapped up inside my curling iron. You can see me how I do the clamp so that it stays, so that the rest of my hair stays in there, but it allows the ends to come back in. So here we go, little spiral curl. And then again, the next section, I comb it towards my face like this. Get that curl pattern started. This is day 2 hair, so I did curl it yesterday. So it kind of already has the memory of yesterday's curls. But I put it right near my head, wrap it around, and I pop that clamp a few times to get the rest of the hair in there. And so there's the very end of my hair, and it's gonna go right up in there like that. And then I wrap it up and let it go. I also let my hair cool completely before I do any finger running, anything like that. And that helps that curl pattern set, and it makes it last longer. If you want a looser wave, what you can do is as soon as you pull the iron out, let's do this side, you can kind of pull it tight like that and it'll loosen it up a little bit, but you have to do that while your hair is still hot for that to work. Okay, so right near my scalp, turn. You can see the ends sticking out. Do the clamp a few times and wrap it all up. There you go. Okay, I have this one section up here left, which is where my hair parts. Okay, so you can see where it just sort of naturally falls apart right there. I've done this, I have 2 sections that I've done under here, so you can see each individual kind of ringlet just hanging out. So usually pull this one over here, just kind of keep it separate for a few minutes while I curl this side so I don't get them confused. Okay, so same business. I'll show you one more time real quick. I only have 2 little sections right here, so comb it, and then with the clamp facing me, facing the mirror. I don't usually do this top section as close to my scalp. I'll kind of pull it out as I go and let it set for a second to get all the way through. That way I don't have this like hump right here. And then for the next section back, we're going to curl it towards my face so that it's does not get all stuck up with the one in front of it. So you put the clamp facing behind you, roll it forward. You can pull it out a little bit if you want to. And then just pop that clamp open just to, I mean like a millimeter, just enough to get your hair through there. Depends on how thick your hair is. And just keep pulling it through. And it'll sometimes go up off the top of the curling iron. You just kind of loosen your slack on it and you can move it up. And then tighten it back up. And then once you have it all on there, just pull it out. So it's one huge ringlet, which it will not look like curly stew for long. We're gonna I'll just run my fingers through it. Okay, same business on this side. Let it curl for a couple minutes. I usually try to, there, that goes there. I usually try to go back through and make sure I didn't miss any spots. Sometimes I'll miss a spot in the back because I can't see. Once it's curled, I do a once over with the hairspray. Let that set for a second and let it dry. Fan my head. And this is the fun part. Watch out. I have my dogs in here with me. I will turn my head over and just run my fingers through it. Comb it all out. Okay. And then it looks a little crazy for a while, especially since I've curled my already curled hair, but it will relax, it'll fall down and look a lot nicer once it gets, you know, has a moment to sort of find its place. And then I try not to touch it for the rest of the day because it gets frizzy, it loses its curl, it gets greasy. The more you touch your hair, like the greasier it gets, so I try not to touch it a whole lot. So that is how I curl my hair. I hope you guys have found this helpful. And that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and let me know if you have questions. I'm happy to answer them. Bye!